I do that quickly. And while I'm doing that, just wanted to introduce myself. I'm April Harrison. I am the marketing coordinator for Trust Your Supplier, and I'm here with my colleague Melissa. And we are going to give you an overview of Trust Your Supplier and help you get your profile started. So just a general overview, what is Trust Your Supplier? Trust Your Supplier is a blockchain-based enterprise-wide platform. It was developed in a partnership between IBM and Chainyard to address inefficiencies and risks associated with supplier information management. And it also brings together all relevant stakeholders to share information in a secure environment. So, you know, not just suppliers and buyers, but also validators, business networks, a whole full network here. So for suppliers, each customer demands the same information over and over again. And this creates an incredibly repetitive and non-value added work effort for you. So ultimately, this results in a lot of inefficiencies and unnecessary costs. So our solution, Trust Your Supplier, addresses these pain points and more. Simply put, it creates a trusted source of supplier information and digital identity that simplifies and accelerates supplier onboarding and lifecycle management. We are also a cross-industry network, which is represented in this chart. So TY suppliers are visible to all these companies as they onboard onto the network. I'm going to show you a quick 2-minute video that talks about how you're able to be discovered by our network buyers and also how you control your identity. So just give me a second, get this going. Trust Your Supplier enables suppliers to create and maintain a trusted digital identity and to selectively share information to a vast network of partners. The TYS network operates on a 2-tiered profile approach that allows for maximum discoverability while ensuring identity control and privacy. Basic information, such as your company name, business type, and location, will be searchable by any buyer on the TYS network, expanding your opportunities. You can then selectively share additional profile information with companies you choose to connect with on the network, allowing you to control your digital identity.
I think across the industry, it will create a standard. When I look into this, it's really creating cross-industry standards in terms of how we gather and capture information, making it simpler for suppliers to provide information only once, making it readily available to the whole network, and reducing the cost of operation across the board. I think that's one of the critical elements. On the other side, I think it's also a very good opportunity for the wider network of suppliers to present themselves across the different organizations. So it creates a real business opportunity to be really entrusted as being one of the TYS suppliers.
Built on blockchain technology, the TYS platform uses cryptographic security to protect your data. Records are copied and continually checked by algorithms to prevent data from being altered or hacked, and nothing gets stored as readable text.
The benefits, or at least one of the big benefits of TYS, is it's done, it's verified on the blockchain, it can't be changed, and that is a huge bonus for us.
Trust Your Supplier is transforming supplier information management, creating a speedier and more secure path to your first transactions with new buyers. Let's get started. Okay. So as we go through the session, please feel free to leave your questions in either the chat or Q&A section. It looks like, do we have some chat questions, Melissa?
Oh, yep, I think we're good.
Okay. Awesome. And please do note that all data in this session is for demonstration purposes only. I'm going to step you through a couple of slides, and then Melissa will give you a demo of how to set up your profile. So from a supplier's perspective, suppliers create a single identity to maintain and share with all of your clients on the blockchain network. You've been invited by somebody on our governance board or a founding member. In this case, you'll see this is a Nokia invitation. Accepting this invitation will enable you to register as a user and collaborate on onboarding tasks or approvals in Trust Your Supplier. To register your company on the platform, you will need to accept the TYS terms of use as well as the terms of use for the company that has invited you to the network. And then the first time you log into the platform, which Melissa will show you in a minute, you'll need to set up your base profile. Your dashboard, as seen here, has a checklist that will step you through the profile setup process, and you can always leave and return to finish the steps. You must publish your profile and complete any assigned questionnaires in order to connect with the buyer that has invited you. And you can also selectively share your full profile with any buyer that you choose to do business with. And the best part of all is that this is the only profile you'll need to create and maintain to share with all of your clients on TYS, which ultimately saves you a lot of administrative work. So for basically the price of your cable bill, you've got access to all this value: reduced cycle time, reduced administrative burden on your team, and giving time back to your team to focus on your core competency instead of worrying about sending a spreadsheet to your next customer. And you're discoverable to a network of buyers, including the Fortune 500 companies. So if you've been invited by one of our governance board members, that first connection is free. So we're going to log into the TYS platform as a supplier, and I'll stop sharing. So Melissa, you can take over here.
Oh, yep, I'll share my screen. All right. So again, hi everyone. I'm Melissa Hanson. I'm part of the Trust Your Supplier team, and happy to have you guys on today. So I am sharing my screen here. I've logged into Trust Your Supplier as a supplier, and I'm going to kind of just show you how to navigate around the system and what some of the features are and how to find help. So as April mentioned, like I said, I'm in one of our test environments, so some of the data in here is just kind of junk data, you'll notice, but I'll kind of guide you through there. So once you get logged in, and accepting your invitation does not commit you to anything. If you haven't done any of these steps yet, it's fine. So hitting the Join Now link or accepting the invite from your email will let you get registered as a user, and you can certainly go and explore the application and see everything that's in here before you get to the point where you would publish your profile and share your information with the buyer that's invited you. So when you log into TYS and get registered, you're going to land on the dashboard. You'll always land on the dashboard here as you get logged in. And so for the buyers to review all your information and complete your onboarding, you'll need to complete your profile, which can consist of these eight different screens, and it's not very heavy. It's your basic information, your tax identifiers, and just kind of high-level information around your management and your ownership and things like that. And I'll walk you through and show you what some of that looks like. So your profile information, and you can publish that. And as soon as you complete this step, you'll be discoverable by other buyers on the network that can also invite you. And then you'll also have any questionnaires that the buyers have assigned to you. So one of the key things that's a huge benefit to the platform is that once you answer these questionnaires across all of our governance board members, we have federated these questions. So you won't have every customer asking you about your ethics, compliance or your ethics policy in a different way. So they've all agreed to ask it all the same way, and that's reflected here in our generic questionnaires. Now, some things are specific to a particular buyer, and if there's a questionnaire like that, then it'll only be visible to you and then the buyer, and then their name will actually be in the title of the questionnaire. But all of these other ones, like here's an example, this is dash IBM. So there's things that are just specific to IBM in this questionnaire. The rest of these are all generics. Once you answer it once and publish it, then those same answers will go to all the companies you're connected with that you give permission to see it. All right. So just a few navigation things first. Along the left frame menu, you can, this will always say static and be here, and you can jump around to the different areas of the application. So you can jump to a particular piece of the profile, or you can use these guidance here. So you'll see this is green here, and on this example supplier, I've already kind of completed all my profile information. So as you complete each tab of the profile, it'll turn green and you'll get a little check mark. And then at the end, you'll be able to review all of the information and publish. So let me just jump into the basic info first. Always recommend starting at the beginning here. So let me just give you an idea of what's on this screen. So it's basically your business and legal name, date established. You can have a description. You are kind of locked in for each profile right into a particular country of registration, because obviously your commercial registrations and your tax IDs and things will change with each one. So you're selecting this when you go to register. And so that'll be kind of grayed out and not available to change. If you've made a mistake during registration, you can contact our support team and they'll help you change that. All right. Then you provide your tax identifiers and attach documents as required, and those can be validated by your buyers. You pick your business type, just kind of high level contact info. If you're publicly traded, your stock exchange and ticker, number of employees, things like that, just very high level information about your company. And then one of the key things here on your basic profile are your UNSPSC codes. And if you're not familiar with these, it's a global data set that has a taxonomy of codes related to any product or service. So you can browse through this list and find, let's say you're in the paper business, you can just continue to drill down and find the ones that you're interested. If you do everything in this whole novelty paper area, you can just quickly hit add all. It'll add all these codes to your profile, and then you can just hit just confirm there. So the UNSPSC codes are going to be critical for you on the network, just to make sure that you've identified all of the codes related to the products or services that you offer, because as the buyers are on the network and they're going into a new buying cycle or need to find a supplier, they will be going and searching by either the keywords or the codes and trying to find suppliers. You want to be discoverable to them. And so just, yeah, I always like to highlight to make sure that you do spend a little bit of time and add all the UNSPSC codes that you're associated with there. All right, so that's everything that's on the basic info tab. The other tabs here, oops, that's refreshing. Sorry, my internet's a little slow here, bear with me. All right, so there's let me just kind of quickly pop through some of these others. So identifiers, so if you have a glyph or a DMB identifier, you can go and find those here and attach them to your profile. On the locations tab, at a minimum, you need to enter at least the domestic headquarters for the country that's attached to this profile. Contacts, any contacts that you would like to share with your buyers. On the management tab, these are also contact cards, but there's 3 specifically that we ask that you attach to your profile: your CEO, CFO, and a director of sales. Of course, if you have others, a security officer, or any other C-levels, you can always hit this add other button and fill out their information and attach it there. The ownership tab is really just how the ownership of your company, right? If you individually owned with a parent, or whatever you want that to be. In this example, I set it up that I own 60% and then I have a parent that owns another 40%. So you can have any individual or entity that comprises your ownership, just to give how that's broken down up to 100%. All right, and on the corporate hierarchy tab, this gives you the ability to identify and also invite, if you would like, to complete their profile, any parents, subsidiaries, global ultimate parents, and then we're going to be adding on like a peer type level into the corporate hierarchy as well. And so right now, this is optional, but as if you're a large company and you'll have, you know, a series of profiles that are all connected and you want to share your subscription, it'll be important to identify the other entities that are related to you in this tab here. All right. And then one more tab on your profile, and this is just high-level financials. If you have a recent financial statement or some third-party report you'd like to just attach here, you can do that. You select your currency, and then depending on when you incorporated or when you were your company was formed, which you identified back on basic info, you'll be asked for just these 4 data points across the prior 3 years. Okay, and then you get to the last screen where it's called review and publish, and it's basically all of the information that you've entered, all kind of summarized on one page. You can scroll down through this. This is very much what it's going to look like for your customer as they go to review your profile after you've published it. So the contacts, locations that we identified, your financials turn into a small graph there. Your ownership turns into this pie chart. And then if you're happy enough with that, you just hit this review and publish. And then this little pop-up is just reminding you to go along and move along to any questionnaires that have been assigned to you. But I'm going to go ahead and hit publish there. And it should navigate me back to my dashboard where, again, I can see that I need to handle my questionnaires. All right. So I guess April, if you'll keep an eye on if we have any questions. Before I explore some of the other screens here, I want to point out a few things. So up on the top right is your user menu. You can change the language of the entire app if you like, or change your password, but wanted to point out that there's a user manual right here. So if you click this, it'll download a PDF and it'll guide you through each and every one of these profile screens and across the whole app. So that will come in handy, so you can download your user manual right there. There's also on this bottom left, on the left frame menu at the very bottom, is a support page. And again, there's a whole series of frequently asked questions that you can browse through, or you can search by keyword here on the FAQ, or you can always refer to your user guide I just showed you. If you can't find what you're looking for, or you have an issue, or even just a question, you click this button right here, contact us to get help. It just will launch your email browser and address an email to this support@trustyoursupplier.com. It will automatically generate a ticket into our ticketing system and assign you a ticket number, and then our crack support team, who's fantastic, will get right back with you and help you through your question or issue. Okay.
No questions yet, Melissa, but
okay.
Please feel free to leave something in either the Q&A or chat for us. We're happy to answer.
I feel like I'm talking really fast today, so if y'all need me to slow down.
Me too. It just must be one of those days.
Trying to get through there. All right. So, once you finish your profile, your next step is to go and address any questionnaires that have been assigned. And again, These are generic questionnaires, and once you answer them on behalf of your company, you'll be able to, if you get a request from a new buyer, once you accept their invite, they'll automatically be given access to all of this, so you won't have to repeat this again. So the whole idea is hopefully to save you a lot of time with all of these redundant tasks. All right, so let me just quickly show you what it looks like to go in and answer one of these. Again, across the whole app, you can always, save where you are and come back to it later. But let me just click into one of these I haven't answered before. So they're usually pretty lightweight, each of these questionnaires, and they're usually pretty straightforward with either a yes or no answer, or maybe a multiple choice or a drop-down selection. There's some that have free text. And then some of them, as you answer it, you may get additional questions that would appear, as you just saw there. Or if you answer no or yes or no, you may get a pop-up box to be able to enter additional information. So this one is specifically around conflict minerals. If you're not a manufacturer, this may not even be assigned to you or apply to you. And so you just go through and answer the different questions. You see, as I answered yes to that one, it prompted me to attach a document. You just go through here again. You can save and close and come back to it. But once you've completed, this one just has the 5 questions. I can say I'm all done, and I'm going to hit publish. Each of these questionnaires you'll publish individually. Now the buyers will be notified that you've finished that one, and they'll be able to go ahead and start reviewing your answers. All right. So as you've complete these, they'll turn green. The ones you still need to work on, you'll see here are still in white. All right, and then optionally, if you want to share your ACH EFT information with your buyers, you can set up your bank account. I have one that's already been set up here. So a lot of suppliers have obviously multiple bank accounts that they're dealing with. Some they use with some customers and some with others. So we've set this up to where you can enter as many bank accounts as you like. You'll fill out all the information. Let me just open this one up that's already filled out. So, basic, the branch and the name of the bank, all those types of things, pretty straightforward. Your account and routing numbers and all of this information, changes if it's based on what country, right? So if you get into Europe, you might see some additional fields for like an IBAN, numbers and things like that. You can attach evidence of your ownership of that account, whether it's a voided check or a redacted statement. You can attach that there, and then then you'll update that. And then at that point, then you associate it with who you want to share this with, right? So if I'll go into associate, I can select which buyer I want to share this with. So I'm saying I'm going to share this particular account with AB InBev. If I had another account over here, I can share that with whoever. And then it'll show you here on this screen that, who all you have shared this banking info with. So right here, you see at the bottom here, associated with 3 buyers. I can click that and say, oh, I've shared this one account with these 3. Okay. And then obviously, if you want to disassociate or delete the account, you can do all that through this menu right here. All right. So as you go about completing your profile and questionnaires, you may have need within your company to invite some other users onto the profile to help you. So I'm going to show you within the admin actions menu here. If you'll go into manage users, you can very easily add additional users to your account. So click this blue button, invite a new user, first, last name, and then their email. The domain is kind of locked in initially to the domain that was invited. If your company has multiple domains, you can always use this trusted domain list. The admin will have the ability to add in, what domains are really associated with your company. and then they would select that from the drop down here if there's more than one. All right, so just a name and email, and then you'll assign a role to that user. So I do recommend, if you're the only administrator, that you invite a backup administrator. And then if you have someone that you just want to be able to update information on the profile or questionnaires, but you want to review it before they publish it, you would assign them that editor role. And then a publisher pretty much has access to update everything except for adding other users. So those are two options that you have, editor and publisher, that you can use. And you'll see there's another role here. This is some new functionality that we're currently rolling out. It's not even in production yet. So it's about a digital key, and I'll tell you a little bit about that.
Melissa, just quickly, we have a question about how many users can be added.
Yep, you can add as many as you like. All right. So the digital key admin. So what we've described so far is that all of your profile and all the information that you're gathering here on your identity, your digital identity here, is shareable to the buyers that are on the network. So we recognize that you may have other new customers that you want to get onboarded with that maybe aren't on the Trust Your Supplier platform yet. So the whole concept behind these digital keys, and it's not, I'm in one of our test environments and I'm not even sure it's fully deployed yet, so I won't demo it here today. But the concept behind it is you'll be able to share this profile with buyers that aren't on the network yet. So you'll make use of all the work that you've put into creating your profile here and compiling all your company information, and be able to share that with buyers that aren't on the network yet. So as part of that manage users, you'll assign an administrator because you'll want to, just through segregation of duties, just make sure you're controlling who you're sharing your company information with. And so we've established a role there for a digital key administrator. All right. So more information on that to come as that's rolled out in the next month or so. All right.
I don't see any more questions yet. Sorry, I was just checking.
Okay. All right. So one other thing that that I'll point out is our marketplace. And so this is an area where we have third-party companies on our network that are helping with augmenting the data related to your company in various aspects, whether it's financial risk or environmental, social responsibility. So these companies have apps on our platform that you can enable. And you can quickly enable it by just selecting one. There will be a, if you click in through it, some of you may be familiar with EcoVadis. So they're a company that creates sustainability ratings across like 11 different areas, including environmental, human rights. So this is a company, if you already have a rating and have earned, they hand out medals like gold, silver, platinum medals. If you have a medal, your medal will appear to the buyers as they pull up your profile. And if you aren't familiar with this company and like to be a part, they'll have some information here. You can click. There'll be a little video about what they do. So if you're interested in their services, you can buy a license through our website or go to them directly. And then once it's installed, you'll be able to look at installed apps and just see how you're appearing, and see how your medal shows up. And then some of the other marketplace providers, like I have one here with a financial rating. So this company is called Rapid Ratings. For any publicly traded company, as long as you enter your stock ticker symbol on your profile, it will pull a financial health rating score. and display that for the buyer as they're looking at your profile. So if you install that here and you put in your stock ticker number, you can go in and see what that looks like for yourself and for the buyers that'll be viewing your profile. All right, so definitely I would recommend go into the marketplace and install all the apps, review what they have to offer. If you already have a license, you can bring your own license as well. And there's continually new partners being added to the marketplace, so check back there often and see what's available that you can take advantage of. All right. April, what have I forgotten? We covered profile, questionnaires, banking, setting up users, the marketplace, and then how to get help with the user guide or through our support page here.
Yes, and I just wanted to mention, I put in the chat box a few links. One of them is to our supplier playlist on YouTube, so there's some helpful videos there that you might want to review. Also, our website, trustyoursupplier.com, it is getting a facelift, so you'll want to check back there next week for our new site. And then also LinkedIn. So those are all really good ways to stay informed. We are constantly adding new features so that you're getting lots of value for Trust Your Supplier. So we make announcements in all those different places. And that way you can make sure you're staying on top of all the cool things that you'll be able to do with Trust Your Supplier here. Are there any other questions?
I realized I missed one little
buyers
on the menu. Yeah, so if you click on the buyers area here, you will see which buyers you're connected to and then what the status of that relationship is. So for all three of these on this particular demo supplier, I'm connected to IBM Flex and ABM Bev, which is Anheuser-Busch. And then the status for all of these is they have assigned me questionnaires that I haven't completed yet. So at any point in time, you can click into those and see the status, but always kind of go back to your dashboard. Any kind of recent invite from a buyer, or maybe a new questionnaire has been assigned. All your notifications, recent notifications will be right here on your dashboard. And then you can also go to right here, the notifications page where you can see the complete history.
Okay, let's see. We've got a question here. My client has asked me to join TYS to send them our details. Our business's policy isn't to join TYS, but I can submit info via TYS for them without joining. That's the question.
Hang
Let's
on,
see.
let me.
Yeah, so if your one client is a governance board member, there is no cost to join TYS, but you do have to register for them to see your information on TYS. I'm not sure if that helps or not.
Right, yeah, you will have to register and join and to be able to publish your profile so that they can see it, yes.
Let me know if there's.
I would just talk to your customer about what their policies are around that.
Right, and I will also mention that feel free to join another one of these webinars. Sometimes I find it useful myself. I learn by repetition. If you want to register for another one, that's completely fine. We have 3 a month in different time slots. So feel free to join us again and we can, look you through. And yep, exactly. And yes, Warren, I can get that to you. So thank you guys so much for joining us. We appreciate it, and reach out or sign up for another webinar and let us know if you need anything.